We'll start with public comment agenda items. During this portion of the meeting, individual speakers will be allowed up to 3 minutes total to address the board on agenda items, including items on the consent agenda. However, the total time for public input may be limited to 20 minutes, while the total time per speaker for a given topic may be slightly reduced in certain circumstances. All persons wishing to address the board will have a meaningful opportunity to do so during this meeting. An individual may only turn in one public comment card for the public comments on agendized items. At this point, we call for the vote for general consent agenda, please. Oh wait, sorry, public comment. I'm sorry.
We have a total of 7. I'm going to call up 3 at a time. Madison Williams, Patty Kay, and Yanette Ramirez will be our first 3.
Hey everyone, I really hate being here and hate that I have to come back and talk to you all. It makes me so upset, and I'm here because I'm profoundly upset. And I don't know who to direct it to, so I think, unfortunately, Dr. Vitale, I'm upset with you. This isn't about unfinished buildings and construction delays alone. It's about the serious disregard that you have had for our children's safety and well-being, especially our community that is already marginalized and continuously overlooked. Before the school year began, we raised significant concerns about the school's readiness, and I stood right here, and you responded to me, and you said, she's in there every day, it's gonna be okay. And unfortunately, those assurances proved false. The chaos our students faced during the first week of school wasn't just inconvenient, it was a clear sign of mismanagement and complete disregard for our children. I'm so mad at this. It's unacceptable that parents had to step up and highlight the basic needs like shade and water, and the lack of a PA system, which proved pretty crucial a week later during an emergency, and safety issues like unlocked doors to construction material. Basic oversights. While you address some of these, thank you, Dr. Norman, the response to our request for proper shade was inadequate. The fact that it wasn't in your construction plan. 4 pop-up tents was not a viable solution, especially when we clearly communicated the need for better shade during San Diego's hottest months. And this falls short and disrespects our community's efforts. The lack of adequate shade has forced our children indoors for recess, which is a right protected by California law now, and it could have been avoided by proper planning and execution. And I've spoken to many of you up here, and my main takeaway is that your responses are that children are resilient and our community deserves this school update, and I do agree with that. However, we must not lose sight of our present needs, our community now. Our students and staff deserve a functional environment that doesn't leave them dealing with constant construction issues. Our community now sees this other schools up on that video, and we have been faced with 5 years of shuffling because of school closures, remote learning, and now poorly managed construction. Our school now can't have a garden or a festival or even a painted blacktop because we've been told repeatedly no with this construction constraint. And it highlights a management issue. And on that point of our community needing this, and I agree we do, it's crucial to question whether this construction will ultimately benefit the community it was intended for, or if gentrification will push those out that it was meant to help. So what community is this for? Focus on our community now. And I'm leaving the ball to Dr. Vitale.
As far as equitable, real quickly, I think, that if we had 10 minutes or more like the Tiffany Ortega did, it would be more equitable for us in the audience to be able to speak in a coherent manner. Okay, I don't quite understand that. Okay, a couple items, 5D, E, F, and G. Where do we get information on the claims against the district that were approved or not approved? Okay, you're gonna answer later, maybe? That would be good. Okay, so my main topic is the N, which is approval of resolution negotiating acquisition contracts on the modular buildings. Okay, I don't quite understand, and it's not really explicit in the information given, if it was 9 more modular units like it was before, or whether it was a constructed building, because for the 9 units being replaced, it's over $1,310,807 each. Now, these classrooms are empty shells, and you put in the tables and chairs for the students. There's no running water, the ones that I have taught in, and there is electricity. So I'm questioning, I could build a nice home in this market price for $1,300,000 with kitchen, bathrooms, etc. And you're paying that much for a shell of a room. Board, have you looked at that, or are you going to accept that they're just going to negotiate? At 1,000 square feet at $200 for a modular unit, that's $200,000 per unit. Where does the remainder of the money go? 1,000,001.1. Those are questions, I guess, Andrea. Web Investment acquired Silver Creek, who you are awarding the contract, which went bankrupt last year. I'm sure you're aware of that, right? So I'd like a little more information on that issue. If I were to, the building costs for a regular home can be $300 to $400 for a nice quality home, and that's nowhere in the ball range of this that you accepted as a bid. So the bids went out and they were due 1 month later. Is that normal, Andrea? If you can give some answers to those questions, please. It's an agenda item,
It's a public comment at this point in time, so we're taking public comments right now.
but this is on this item right now, so you're not going to wait.
Is Jeanette in voting?
What's that?
Jeanette Ramirez, you're next.
So you're not going to comment?
Hello, good evening, dear members of the board. I, Janet, come to you as a mother, but also as a graduated student of Oceanside School District. My elementary school is Lynn Tigers, Middle School Martin Luther King, and El Camino High School Wildcats. Ever since I can remember my school year's experience from elementary to high school, it has been pleasant and worry-free of any dangers. I can recall early memories of when our recess school bell rings, we would race freely to the blacktop to play tetherball, handball. We also had a grass field to enjoy our favorite activities. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for my 3 children attending an elementary school at Pablo Park. From the first day of school, I cannot recognize an elementary school, but rather an active and ongoing construction job site. As I walk my children to school within the crowds, I see construction workers walking up and down, racing to finish this job. Everywhere. Hazards everywhere, unfinished rooms, and heavy equipment everywhere. Tractors being driven, not until the parents showed concern and decided to voice their opinion to the school faculty. There were changes and adjustments. But that still doesn't guarantee a safe environment for our children, putting mothers like me in a constant state of worry. I often ask myself, I wonder how my children are doing. Is there enough shade? Is there enough water? Are the facilities well maintained? Every day I ask my oldest, how is school? She often responds, there's not enough shade, Mom. We had to sit on the floor. There's not enough shade on the benches, Mom. The only reason why these children have shade is due to the parents donating their tents, but why hasn't our district taken any action to solve this simple matter? I don't understand why the district would be okay to send 300 plus students to an active job site rather than a school. We also, parents, understand that construction takes time, but what is prolonging this job? We are very grateful for the renovations for Pablo Talk, but why has this project taken so long? During summer 2024, we were very excited to see the progress of school, and would drive by only to come see the job site wasn't active and nothing was getting done. Why is it now that our kids are back in school, this construction project is being scrambled around? Why not take advantage of summer 2024? No kids, no parents picking up, no teachers, and no cars. My suggestion is not to shut down the construction, but something needs to get done for our kids, our safety. We know that a construction job site, there's lots of accidents. Let's not wait for an accident to happen for us to do something. The tractors ricochet rocks all the time. My husband works in a construction job site, and he says that every day there is accidents. Let's not wait for the kids to have an accident, please, Board. Thank you for your time. Think about if your student would be at Pablo Talk every day, and wouldn't you want to come in here? They're like, oh, Mom, I had fun in the grass. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your time.
Next is the speakers, Emily Dixon, Michael Richardson, Rosie Gingera, and the last speaker will be Maria Phillips.
I'll begin with a award list. 322-548 to 32500. It's the after-school program. We've given $8 million to after-school programs, and I'm wondering, has the board made any goals for academics for that $8 million? Vicki is very familiar with this district, so it should be a doable ask to have her set, or have you set, academics goals for that $8 million. Item 5H, agreement with Front Wave Arena Management. I don't know when you all schedule the graduation, but for decades the two high schools have been at the same time. And the reason is to cut the mischievousness between the two high schools if they are graduating at different times. 5U, Dr. Sparks will be in Chicago for a Systems Leadership for Equity Symposium and fulfill District Goal number 2 to support social, emotional, and physical well-being in order to create safe and positive learning environments. In other words, don't ever have students in a construction zone. Don't have them in a construction zone. Instead, you can provide a different site and transportation until all the construction is done. And Dr. Sparks, I would like to know how the focus areas leverage our community capacity and connectedness, generative artificial intelligence, AI tools, and resources to bolster leadership capacity. Will that help Pablo Talk have a safe and positive learning environment and the principals to be more welcoming to parents? Item 5B, Mr. Kank will be going to Chicago, Denver, and Texas, all expenses paid by the National Council of Supervisors of Mathematicians as a board member in this organization. Their bold, I might add, audacious leadership in mathematics, among other things, guarantees that all students engage in equitable, high-quality mathematical experience. Well, I hope that means that, considering our test scores, that means memorization of multiplication tables, long division, fractions, and percentages, for that solid foundation students in Oceanside desperately need to raise test scores. Item ED, approval of additional benchmarks and advanced curricular material. I hope these materials will help in your audacious goal of 100% of third graders reading by the third grade. I think 70% is more realistic. I wouldn't want teachers discouraged before they start, especially if they feel, and many of them do, they do not have sufficient resources and support to complete the goal. Thank you.
MIT, the University of North Carolina system, public state universities in Alabama, the University of Texas system, the University of Utah, the University of Tennessee system, Georgia's public university system, the University of Missouri, University of
So
Arkansas.
does this have anything to do with the consent agenda?
It does.
Thank you.
What do all these groups have in common? They have all abandoned or disbanded their DEI departments or drastically reduced them. This is just the tip of the iceberg. More and more organizations are realizing that DEI is a big lie. The biggest part of the lie is equity. The biggest lie of all. Your DEI director is lying to children when he teaches them that they can all have and be the same as everyone else without their own effort and passion. It's a tragedy that kids are led to believe that their government will make them all equal, regardless of their abilities or desire. I know that the DEI director does some positive things. His efforts to keep kids in school are admirable. So why do you propose sending him off to a symposium on equity, spending good money after bad on a dying fad? Why not keep him here where he can do some good, instead of losing the $1,000 a day plus that he costs us in lost productivity while he's away? Do any of you have the guts to simply ask, why are we doing this? Please, just one of you break the spell and stop this nonsense. On another issue, why spend $65,000 or 65 cents on a venue for graduations? I graduated from Oceanside High School at the gym. Decades of graduations have been at the beach. I have been to 3 graduations recently, all on football fields in various parts of the country. What better place to graduate than on your own field? Please don't do this. Bring some sanity back and kill both of these stupid bills. And by the way, how do you spend $1.3 million on a modular school room?
I'm Rosie Higuera, and I'm running for Oceanside School Board to replace Mike Blessing. Mike Blessing, your policies and procedures do not reflect the needs of our students. You signed the closing of Reynolds. Under your watch, there were 4 schools that were closed: Ocean Shores, Pacifica, Reynolds, and Garrison. Here in my hands, I have the GEO report for the engineer on hand, if anyone wants to see it, that Reynolds did not need to be closed. Now, the students in Pablo talk, again, gross negligence. I wish that all the parents would join together and do a class action suit. This is terrible. That these children should be in such an unsafe environment. I went over there myself to see for myself, and I was shocked. I would never take my child to a school like that is just in complete chaos, with no shade, no water in the beginning, only 2 toilets, I understand, that were working, putting the children and the parents under incredible stress, and then a fire on top of that, and you guys are still sending kids there. There is no accountability, no transparency, and the policies that you create are actually unsafe and unhealthy for our students. Our community and our kids deserve far better. This is really sad. It's not about money, it's about the kids' safety. How can they learn if it's 135 degrees in the pavement? They don't even have shade, and there's all this noise going on, and heavy equipment and machinery, men coming and going. It's not safe. Would you guys send your students, your kids there? How are they supposed to learn under those conditions? That's ridiculous. And I want to know where this money for Bond H&W are going. It needs to go to Pablo Talk. You guys need to speed up this project. And you need to get them shade. They need to feel safe. The parents and community are counting on you. This is a shame and a shambles. That's all, thank you.
Hello, Board. I wasn't exactly sure that how to fill that thing out, but I checked, I think Jay, am I correct? Okay, so hello, my name is Maria Phyllis, and I'm following up on the HVAC, something or other. I am a lead at Ivy Ranch Elementary. My staff and I feed over 700 students a day, breakfast, lunch, and supper. I am here today to talk to you about the NPR and kitchen. Both of these areas have no air conditioning. The NPR has not had air conditioning for 2.5 years. And the kitchen, apparently, a broken swamp cooler has not been fixed for 20 years or more. I am sure this doesn't seem like a big deal to the upper management at Oceanside School District, because if it was an importance to them, my work order that has been in since last October would have been taken care of. We at Ivy Ranch, teachers, custodial, kitchen staff, we were told we were getting 22 new air conditioning units at the end of last year. But lo and behold, that was on the back burner. Now, none of the units were replaced. Some of them have been fixed enough to limp them by to get us through this heat wave. As far as the NPR, we have no air, despite what upper management has been told and has now told us. I work there. I know there's no air. And just as an FYI, even if you get an NPR fixed, it doesn't help in cooling down the kitchen. It also will make the unit work harder in the NPR when it is finally fixed to try to cool down the amount of square footage in both areas. Ivy Ranch students come through our lines with sweat dripping down their faces. Their faces are absolutely tomato red and just famished from the heat. Our students should be able to walk into an NPR to cool down before they have to sit outside in the hot heat. If the NPR had been working, the air conditioner, the children could sit inside of the NPR to enjoy the meals that parents worked hard to provide for them. And on that note, we are over 100 degrees in the kitchen. I do believe that OSHA standards for California OSHA Title 8, Section 3396, is not supposed to be over 82 degrees in an area where you could have related illnesses. People can have seen, I know I've heard about it through the district, what's going on. To cool down, my staff members and I are going to walk in to cool down, only to walk back out to 100 degrees and keep going. I would do this every single day. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is not okay. And I'm asking you, when is my work order going to be filled? And when are you going to be filled?
Move for a motion to consent, general consent.
We have a total of 16. The first 3 speakers will be Chloe Berman, Paula Orba, and Rebecca Ames. Chloe. Paula Orba.
President Alvarez, trustees, Dr. Matano, cabinet colleagues, and community members. I'm Paul Orba. I currently teach fourth grade at College Elementary. I'm also the first vice president, and I'm here speaking as a teacher. Last month, I stood before you and I said, quote, the juggling of students and teachers needs to stop being a norm. If you truly want to see improvement in test scores, we need to see improvement in elementary class structure. Well, that did not happen. Schools, including ours, started with multiple combos. Families in these grades were turned away in the first week of school told that these grades were full, and sent to other schools. 3 weeks in, several Chromebooks in the district were dismantled, resulting in student and teacher movement and extremely high class sizes in some schools. I personally have been moved twice during the first month of school. Apparently, this has become an HR budgeting strategy. I encourage school board members to request a detailed report of actual class sizes of elementary schools, and I mean roll sheet numbers, not average class sizes, which can use ed specialists, support teachers, and combos to lower the reported ratios. Let's stop playing this numbers game and staff our schools effectively. Sometimes that might mean letting a grade level or two ride a little low for a year at some sites. Wouldn't that be great for targeted instruction? And it would allow for growth in homeschools as these housing developments come online. What a great reason to buy a home in Oceanside. Close quality schools with a welcome for open science. Setting a district audacious goal of all students achieving at grade level in English language arts will not get accomplished with lip service and unrealistic goals. It will require, among other things, re-examining the way we set up our elementary staffing at the beginning of each year to avoid this continuous chaos.
Hello. Sit on. Hi, I'm Rebecca King. I talk to all the people here at the public park in the condition it is. I wish this meeting were on their laptop. I wish you could sit there for 30 minutes with a 133-degree laptop and see how that feels. It's totally off right away. The condition was horrible. There's no even word for the conditions. The first day of school at Housing Park, and all of we need to be held accountable. The construction, not the workers, but the people that are in charge of making decisions. Who decided that that facility was in safe enough condition for children, parents, teachers, construction workers who hope they don't harm a child? They didn't go to work that day to run over a child. But somehow, between yourself and the construction, that was a possibility. We watched a child run in front of an earth mover at dismissal the first day. And if you wonder why some parents and grandparents feel the way they do, then you need to put yourself there. And I mean in the middle of the day for quite a while and try to think and wonder how you expect their grades, their tests to go up. You've made them feel like they don't matter, and they do matter. And you need to show them that and not with ice cream.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand when you were having the Pledge of Allegiance, if I took a bandsaw and I ran 4 construction trucks at the same time that you would allow it, would you be accepting of that? Would you be able to think? That's what you still have videos. If you haven't watched them, shame on you. That the children were at for the Pledge of Allegiance with those trucks with one orange cone between them. Now I'm here 3 weeks later, it's still happening for base. You just dropped base off the planet. You're not even concerned about that. This whole situation is not just outrageous. There's got to be parts of it that absolutely do not fall. Law is not morality.
Catherine and Diana G.
Good evening, board. Can you guys hear me okay? Good evening, everyone that's here to voice your concerns. Hello, board. I'm Elizabeth. I'm a parent that is invested in the well-being of students at Santa Margarita Elementary School. Within the Oceanside School District, I believe that strong leadership is a cornerstone that propels teachers, staff, students, parents towards success. Regrettably, our school has a lack of presence of a transparent and honest leadership. Throughout the 2022 and 2024 school year, I have encountered numerous issues with my child that I attribute significantly to the challenges to shifting leadership within the principal and the vice principals. I have advocated to the principal for additional training for teachers to support students with IEPs, no combo classes, better communication from school administrators, as I believe that the Oceanside School District does not adequately support the military community. Military families on Camp Pendleton that are stationed on Camp Pendleton within the Oceanside School District often experience short stays that hinder their ability to witness meaningful change within the school system. Having had the opportunity to serve on the PTSA board, I have witnessed firsthand the principal's leadership approach, which often comes off as passive-aggressive towards volunteers. Our recent field day, a traditional event in schools nationwide, was mirrored by chaos, for which I squarely place the blame on the principal's leadership. It is disheartening to see the lack of trust and camaraderie that should exist between parents and at the school leadership. In my experience, effective leadership is characterized by a warm, trustworthy demeanor, qualities that seem to be lacking for Mr. Jarvis's approach. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I'm also a parent at San Margarita School. Diana did not have to leave early, so I'm going to be reading what she left behind. She says, I want to address the ongoing concerns regarding administration at Santa Margarita Elementary School at Ward Camp Pendleton. Us as parents, unfortunately, have reached a breaking point. As a school volunteer with PTSA, I have witnessed firsthand the lack of leadership, professionalism, and general care for the military school community. The discriminatory behavior, toxic environment, and lack of accountability within the school has made it clear that significant changes need to occur. This is not a personal grievance or agenda. It is about justice and safety for our students and our families. As PTSA volunteers, we work tirelessly to foster a sense of community and provide support for parents when the administration fails to set that up. We've organized events for students and families looking forward to offering fun parts of school life that have brought joy and connection. It is deeply disappointing that because of personal conflicts and unprofessionalism within the administration, these activities have been jeopardized. The fact that children are now missing out on meaningful experiences due to personal issues is unacceptable. Despite bringing these concerns to the attention multiple times to the principal as well as the vice principal, no action has been taken for the unprofessional and discriminatory and toxic behavior within the staff. These actions have not only been disrespectful but discriminatory, and they have faced no consequences for their conduct. The hostility has made us feel unsafe and unwelcome, and it drives parents away from the school to the point that her children were also, she pulled her children from the school because she feared retaliation from the staff against her students, or against her children. It is clear that leadership at Santa Margarita has failed to prioritize the well-being of students and families. The principal has shown a complete disregard for parent concerns and a lack of leadership qualities needed to create a welcoming environment. The front office and some of the staff have similarly demonstrated unprofessionalism and harmful behaviors that cannot be ignored any longer. For the sake of the school and its community, I am calling for a change, and we'd like to see a change in the principal, the vice principal for unprofessionalism, and the administrative secretary for discriminatory behavior and toxic environment. And there's also been toxic environment with the kindergarten teacher from Santa Margarita as well. There's also, I like to address my personal thing, is there's not enough time when the school actually starts to inform parents or inform teachers and to train staff on how to handle students with IEPs. The transition and the first we should not be sending our kids to have IEPs blind into the school to just figure it out. We need to have proper training beforehand in order for teachers to be prepared for those students. They face more difficult challenges and need extra support in their educational process.
focal point of the IEP. We're a military community, but we're also very proud, and we feel very neglected by the districts.
Julian, Emma, Haley, and then Rachel Steele.
Good afternoon. I was here last month, we presented to things I had issues, again, for Camp Pendleton School, and just particularly to Santa Margarita Elementary School. This is concerning safety. Again, the bullying and harassment in Santa Margarita School, for Camp Pendleton is an ongoing issue. Parents have to take upon themselves to enroll their kids in karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, and other self-defense training to protect themselves. Staff are not trained to deal with bullying or report it to the administration. And even if they report it to the administration, the administration principal, Mr. Jarvis, and principal, Mr. Cross, administrative assistant secretary, Laura Trump, are not addressing or stopping bullying and harassment and discriminating on campus. Parents have raised awareness and have not been remedy. Just parents right to that staff have been trained. Even having unattended students leave campus during school hours. We already had that happen this year already. Last year we had 6 events. The kids left unattended, and then we're like the parents that they just left the office area when they actually went down to this Main Street. These issues have been brought up to principal with no comprehensive solution. On top of that, for at least a year, there has been a kindergarten teacher, Ms. Rollins, that has been allowed by Mr. Jarvis, Dr. Smith, and Dr. Sparks to bully, harass, and slander parents without properly addressing teacher professionalism and bad attitude for parents. Instead of intervening a year ago, I was labeled as confrontational for bringing up these issues. Dr. Smith's words was, there will be a few bad apples in the bunch, just ignore her and keep doing good things for the children as we get safe parent volunteers. This matter was not addressed with Ms. Rollins and led to retaliatory behavior with false allegations, revoking my volunteer privileges the last day of school. Tell me that is not targeted retaliatory behavior toward me. Ms. Rollins' professionalism have led to a hostile school environment between parents, teachers, and parent volunteers. She has a history of continuous discrimination, harassment, bullying towards teachers and parents. There have been several complaints put into the OUSD Teachers Union regarding professional behavior in the past 5 years. There's been several, so please look into that. Discrimination and unethical practices continue to keep going. This behavior after disrespecting the parents and teachers, this behavior after parents have informed, this behavior goes towards parents that have informed principal of recurrent issues and have failed to address them appropriately. Instead of engaging in targeted enforcement for parents speaking up for students, parents, and teachers, I have been involved in the interpretation of the volunteer privileges. I've already billed it to Saul Watson, the security manager, for no resolution. We just uncovered that Mr. Jarvis is not doing the proper thorough investigation. I brought it up to Dr. Sparks and actually Dr. Smith. There's no avail. And then I brought it up to his board of trustees for board policy, board policy 515.2. I appealed it and I have heard nothing from or 6 days.
So tired of this board being reactive. It's time for you to be proactive. There needs to be plan A, B, C, all the way through Z. This is, imagine being a part of the reason that laws exist to protect children. Because that's what we're looking at here. From day one, you set a standard for K through 12 safety that is so far from unacceptable. As a 30-year-old student that never goes to college, I could never get within the proximity to the machinery that my child had on the first day of school. The first 2 weeks of school were a disaster, And your assurances of improvements and open-mindedness and openness to the parents' concerns really seem hollow when my child, who is a student ambassador at Pablo Top Elementary School, has been on campus less than 4 days out of this school year. My child is not going to be on a campus where there is active access to open and active instruction, which continues to remain the status at Pablo Top. You were all there the first day of school. You all saw it. There's no, did you see the video? You saw it. You were there. You lived it. Parents like myself, we're left to deal with this situation where we talk to each other and we're like, wow, well, at least it's my fifth grader. At least it's not the K through, third graders that are dealing with what my kid's dealing with. I'm thankful that my child is in a bad situation on another child, and that's not acceptable. It's not a lifeboat. This is not a lifeboat situation. All of the children deserve the same safety and reassurances as well as our families do. Dr. Norman, our meeting tomorrow is 4 weeks overdue. We need to know who is accountable for the emotional distress that we have endured for the past month. We were here a month ago before you, and my heart has not stopped pounding for the past month, along with other parents, because this is not a safe school for our children. It's not a safe school for adults. I commend you, though, because you have united the community in an unprecedented way. Even those who typically disagree with my very existence as an intersex person are supporting me. So I have to commend you because you've really united totally nonpartisan issue here about child safety. And during an election year, I truly commend you for finding the one issue that is absolutely nonpartisan.
I'm not only a parent of a child at Pablo Top Elementary School, I'm also a special education teacher coach. Being a teacher is important that my child loves going to school in a safe and development and an appropriate environment. I chose to have my daughter stay at Pablo Top so she'd be close to a neighborhood friends and a community she's surrounded in. Our two older boys attend school in Orange County teach. I know what makes a school, a family, the administration, the teachers, the support staff. What has happened at Pablo Top infection began 2 years ago is unacceptable. In TK and kindergarten, she had no developmentally age-appropriate playground to play on when she was there. How does this make her social and emotional development? Yet alone, where needs to young children. Every teacher, administrator, and support staff deserves a stipend for having the teaching conditions that have been going on there. Yes, safety concerns are an issue, ongoing school construction, site issue, walking through the halls as a first grader with seeing these fences up around you, you feel like a hamster maze. Going through, like you can't even see what's around you. My biggest concern right now isn't the safety of construction happening there, the lack of the shade, burning on hot days. It's for children like my daughter to have medical conditions that jeopardize their attendance already. My daughter has asthma and has allergies almost year-round. Allergies to trigger asthma. Construction at Pablo Top is the worst environment for a child with medical condition like asthma. Just as the dust and the venting blown around by construction workers can trigger an asthma attack. She has come home over the last 2 years with red eyes, burning, itchy nose. Every year we have applied for school of choice and we were denied. There's no question on the form for school of choice asking why you want to transfer. But every year I get truancy letters in the mail. In TK, she was absent almost a month. And last year in kindergarten, she was absent 20 days. But I always have to go for asthma doctor and get to school and military. What about the children who have medical conditions? What about special needs students on campus? I know they have special education classrooms. Are those students using the same mobile restrooms with wheelchairs? What about the children who have diapers? Are they bringing them to change in the classroom? And how sanitary is that? Is this free, appropriate public education in the 4 eyes? This is not safe. Have you walked on campus and walked down in those little kids' levels to see what it looks like walking around? I would like to know what measures the board and superintendent will be taking to ensure student health at a construction site elementary school. Are there air purifiers with dust, all the dust in the classroom, or will it just continue to get truancy letters and next is speaker Roy Cordona. Roy Cordona.
Erica Wasson.
Hi, my name is Yola Cardona. Members of the board, who is in charge, parents of Santa Margarita, reach out to complain about Jarvis. Rather than listening to the parents, you have Jarvis reach out to them to intimidate them. I took my daughter out of Santa Margarita after she was sexually harassed and threatened to be shot and killed, and Jarvis felt to call PMO. Jarvis, rather than helping my daughter, tried to revoke her inter-district transfer due to absences. Yeah, all her absences were 100% excused. By the end of the year, a boy who threatened to kill my daughter threatened my 2-year-old son. At that point, I decided the school was no longer safe, and I moved my kids to a different district. Jarvis has been retaliated with my family with the help of a teacher named Michelle Rollins. Michelle Rollins became angry at the PTA, which I'm part of, after we denied a medical chair. She started talking ill about my family, my child, to her colleagues and teachers and all parents. We have testimonies from them. She told teachers not to join PTSA when we had a membership drive at the school, speaking ill and saying, do not join the PTSA, they're horrible people. Later, she interrupted an association meeting demanding to pay membership. When we told her we didn't have receipts of the square machine and that we will arrange a drive, she didn't answer. Instead, what she did, some way, somehow, she was able to join our PTA through the internet with a website we were not using. We told her we were going to reimburse her money, and what she ended up doing, she went to the PTA 9 district and made herself the victim. And we told Jarvis to please make her stop, and he told us to write to you guys, the board. We did. After we did that, Jarvis contacted our 9 district and told them that we didn't want to work with him. You guys told us, you guys didn't investigate or did anything to help us. Jarvis then laughed at our face and told us that you guys had given him 100% authority to do whatever he wants at the school. After we knew there was it's not safe for any student at the school, he then ordered the 9th district to disband us after he realized that we haven't broken any by law. All because Michelle Rollins wants to be the teacher representative and we denied her the medical chair. Jarvis and Frost have now started calling parents commands to intimidate parents because parents are raising their voice at the school. Can you guys, if any other parent, can they call the school? Can you guys call the parents because they're being rude to you? No. Michelle has bullied all of us, including our previous teacher representative, Mrs. Shanta, and nothing has happened to her. Jarvis is not fit to be the principal, much less serve in an active duty community. I urge you to remove Mr. Jarvis, Dan Frost, and his undercover boss, Michelle Rollins, from the school. Thank you.
Wow, I don't know what to say after that. Sounds like a damn train wreck to me. Vitaly, you are the head of this train wreck, and you 5 school board members have been voted in by your community, the parents, the taxpayers. You are public servants. You are supposed to be acting in the best interest of the children and the students and their safety. All I am hearing is story after story of gross negligence on all of your watch. You all need to resign. Honestly, this is a disgusting school board that is allowing sexual harassment to happen, bullying of parents, anybody that does not cave to your narrative. There is no freaking accountability with you guys. You should be disgusted and ashamed of yourselves. And I'm very proud of this parent that's doing a stay-at-home initiative. Demand change September 30th to October 1st. Keep your students home this week. That is actually the only thing that's going to work. Money speak. Money. In your own county, you have the merit system. The merit system is composed of classified employees under the California Education Code is to ensure selection, promotion, and retention are without favoritism or prejudice on the basis of merit and fairness. Did you hear that, Natalie? Merit and fairness. Knowledge, skill, ability with open competition. And yet, these 5 school board members continuously vote to give you a raise. For what? For gross negligence? For zero accountability? That's amazing. That is shocking. If anyone were at a job with this poor performance with grades in the 30s and 40s, we would be fired like that. You need to be fired, Natalie. All of these people sitting on the board represent over $1 million. I repeat, over $1 million in your salaries. Superintendent Vitaly makes $331,000 plus. Mercedes Mulvey, you make $253,000. Jordy Sparks is $205,000 for your DEI, your disruptive agendas. And Todd McAteer, $265,000. Where is the proof that you guys deserve that money? Your job performance sucks. Mike Blessing, you need to resign. I'm taking your position. Eleanor Evans, you're on your way out. And in 2026, the other 3 boards, you're going to again, and you, Alvarez, you'll be gone as well. The citizens and community and parents of Oceanside deserve better. Our students deserve a world-class education. They deserve still safe. And the parents need to be listening to it. Thank you for nothing. Now let's go with
Good evening. I'm here speaking on behalf of myself, but also for a lot of parents that cannot attend and who didn't want to crowd over with all of their children. So, your job has many roles and many moving parts at all times, and we all understand that. We are all juggling and balancing act. As parents, we have given the board freedom to make positive changes and growth for our students academically, emotionally, and socially. In the last 8 years since Dr. Vitaly joining our district, I have seen a drastic decline in student academics, engagement, and support. We also see the lack of staff and administration support to us parents. Our kids are the ones who end up feeling the effects of your lack of support. This board has stopped listening to the kids, and the kids are what matters. The parents and the teachers who give their hearts to these kids each and every day and show up every day, even in the worst and at times unsafe conditions. I stand in front of you all representing 100 more parents from the high schools, the middle schools, and each and every elementary school. We ask you to step up and do better, just as we ask our kids to achieve for higher goals each and every day in our school system. I know you may not fully understand why us parents keep showing up and keep seeming so frustrated, but it's because you all are not listening. Who's first, and they should always be our first and foremost concern. We want change, and the only way is parents can be the voice for their kids. We are here to be the voice, and we will not back down. We ask each and every one of you to show up and be on your campuses and see what's going on. Talk to the kids. Ask them what their favorite thing about their school is and what they wish they could change, because they're what matters. Talk openly and honestly to the staff and really hear their concerns. It seems that it stopped happening years ago, and again, as parents will be here and we will not stop asking to put our kids first. When parents in school spoke up about a combo class that was not in the best interest of their student, a 14-year-old veteran teacher who's highly loved and appreciated by the kids and parents was removed. All because parents voiced their concerns to each of you board members who did not get a response, to our principal, our assistant principal, and to Dr. Vitaly. You just disregarded their concerns. And then you removed their teacher, which caused these kids to have a disruption to their learning environment as well as their emotional well-being. What message are you sending to us parents and to our kids? that they don't matter. We speak for our kids and we will advocate for our kids. All we want is what's best for our kids, and they can't speak up because they don't feel their voices are being heard. Thank you for your time.
Nicole Johnson, Patty Kay, and Janice Halofa.
Good evening. There are many sex holidays being celebrated across America. And I know that they are being celebrated in Oceanside Unified School District because they were last year and we just started a new school year right now. And it has come to my attention that many children will come to know far too soon. For a whole week in September, starting from the 16th all the way to the 23rd. Many children will be urged to celebrate bisexual awareness week, but it is one that we like to be attracted to both males and females. It is created and sponsored by GLAD, the Gay and the Lesbian Alliance Resource Center, in where they expand the scope of sexual attraction to include children. And after Bi Week, it's Family Week by the American Library Association, which operates in school libraries here in America and especially in California. They will celebrate books that have been in still are in our district and beyond, such as gender queer, always include this book is gay, labor, the blue eye, treat, and more. And not to mention all the homosexual, rape, and other formats of literature that are still in our schools, even in our elementary schools. It starts with symbols such as Julian is a mermaid, which I did start reading today. It's still available in Libby Elementary, my previous elementary school. I would love to see a rush, though, on implementing Constitution Day on September 17th to educate our youth on how our country was founded, their God-given rights, and to educate them on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator, and that Creator is God. And then we don't know Michael Leslie and Eleanor Evans. I see that you received our questionnaire, and I have not received it back yet, but that is okay. I do have a physical copy here today. I can give you personally after this. And I would love to have your input on the available for every single citizen in Oceanside, just as your spread is on the Outsider magazine, sponsored by the Teachers Association, the Teachers Union. And it will also be available on a very, very well-known resource online to aid the community via a voter's guide for school board candidates. So we don't just check off a box or skip it completely because it's important to vote for the right person. And in closing, I want to add, I still request input on AB 1955, the prohibiting of parental notifications policies. Now, remember, parents do not be notified of anything regarding your children, whether it's their pronoun changes as they begin to transition, or taking counseling, medication, vaccines on campus, sponsored by Planned Parenthood, or even if your child gets into a fight at school, or maybe something happens between the child and the teacher. Okay? It's a teaching that is coming from the school board, teaching administration to lie to parents. Okay? And for those who don't agree, teachers and staff, they are at risk of lawsuit if they say anything to the parents. So many people don't know when the school board members. Will you implement these into your policy, or will you fight back because parents have the right to know everything about their children? I thank you for your time. May God's will be done in the name of Jesus.
Janice Halofa.
I'm totally shocked at the issues occurring at multiple Oceanside Unified School sites. So today I'm going to talk about the Pablo Top School of Arts. At the August 13th board meeting, Pablo Top parents expressed concerns about the construction taking place at the school, questioning whether it was ready for students to start. Despite parents' very valid safety concerns, school began on August 15th, even though the campus was not safe, including as active construction was underway on campus, with heavy machinery operating in close proximity to students and staff. Additionally, there were several other safety issues, including students not having access to water throughout the day or shade on the playground, despite the extremely hot weather. As a result, on August 16th, I filed a Williams complaint on behalf of Pablo Top families in my capacity as an educational consultant, because the health and safety of the students needed urgent attention.
I have yet to receive a proper response despite the approaching 30-day deadline. Plus, I repeatedly requested that Oceanside Unified holds a meeting with Provincetown parents to address their concerns. However, my requests were ignored, and no meeting was held. This was particularly upsetting as safety issues persisted, including a fire and power outage on August 20th, caused by a delivery truck hitting the power line, which further endangered students and staff. Despite the fact that the title page of the district school Safe School Action Plan states, all students and staff of public, primary, elementary, junior high, and senior high schools have the inalienable right to attend campuses that are safe, secure, and peaceful. California Constitution, Article 1, Section 28C, Oceanside Unified has failed to take meaningful action to uphold these promises. The district's most fundamental obligation is to protect the students entrusted to its care. Yet the situation at Palo Top demonstrates a lack of basic planning and foresight in providing a safe, secure, and peaceful learning environment. This failure is deeply troubling. I believe the district must apologize and acknowledge its mistakes in order to restore trust and confidence among the parents, students, and staff, showing that it truly prioritizes their safety and concerns.
Thank you.
I ask you to thank you and appreciate.
Jacqueline Fisher.
Hello, good evening, President Alvarez and Dr. Vitali and all the board members. My name is Jackie. I am also a military spouse. I am speaking out on behalf of the military spouse and everyone here. That it is true that we felt that being in the military and we have this need, and we felt like our kids were less fortunate because we have to speak up and inform what is going on in that world. We're very well informed there too. Our kids are still suffering. And I came here to speak about what's happening right now with the Special Education Department. And one of those that we are experiencing is the importance of comprehensive assessments for triennial assessments for students that are receiving triennial assessments, special education services, and how essential they are to their academic and social success. According to Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, schools are required to assess students in all areas of suspected disability at least every 3 years to determine their continued eligibility for special education and the services they need to progress and access the general education curriculum. These remedial assessments are not just a legal requirement, they are essential for understanding our children's strengths and needs. Where critical areas like speech, motor skills, or social and emotional development are not thoroughly evaluated, thus in their IEPs occur, leaving students without necessary services to thrive. For children with disabilities, they have a challenge already, and we parents are advocating that when we go to the table, what happens is that our relationship with the IEP team members are not working well. Some of them are not speaking to us, or some of them are avoiding us. And then, when you reach out and send an email, it sounds like we are the ones upholding it because we do not understand. Because we understand that making this incomplete assessment, it's impacting the child's progress. And how are we going to find out if our child is progressing when everybody was withholding their rights to be assessed, to get the services proper for them? We are to ensure that every child receives a comprehensive assessment that covers all suspected disability. And we want everyone to understand that in the military community, we always worry about where we're going, our spouse being in the field. We do not want them to worry at all because their job is to protect this country. And they're not supposed to worry about their children. Their children is given a physical right to their children. I thank you for listening.
and we will adjourn at